Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the manga Monster, written by Naoki Urasawa. Now, he has written a lot of good mangas, 20th Century Boys, Billy Bat. I've read a lot of his mangas actually. Now, one thing about them is I like them, but they're never really quite there. I would say Pluto was pretty good, but they're never really quite there. I think Monster is his magnum opus. Monster is one of the best stories I've ever read. It's one of the best mangas I've ever read. It's haunting, it's philosophical, it is suspenseful, it is incredible. It is genuinely a masterpiece. It's not perfect, and I'll explain why a little later, but it's genuinely one of the best things I've ever read. First of all, I mean, there was a while back, I think about a year ago, where Monster got really famous on the internet. I'm pretty sure that's why I read it too, right? Johann Liebert. What an incredible villain. Johann is how you write a sociopath. He's unreadable, he's manipulative. He is what haunts all of the manga, and he's not even there in that much of the manga. He is such a force. I love how his character is dealt with. I love how he's written. One of the best antagonists ever in fiction in general. Like, the you have to understand, the way Johann is written is one of the best. I cannot explain to you. He's so well written. I love it. Johann Liebert is one of my favorite characters ever. Not because of what his character does or what his character is. It's because of how many layers they are in, which came into play when writing about Johann. First, dude, Naoki Urasawa was he's a mastermind. How does he come up with this? I don't know. But Johann Liebert, incredible character. And now you flip that with Dr. Tenma, also an incredible character. Not as good as Johann, but I really like Dr. Tenma as well. His guilt, his decisions, his principles, the way he is the perfect flip side to Johann. I think you couldn't have had a more perfect protagonist to complement Johann as Dr. Tenma. It is incredible. I'm telling you, Monster is something you have to read one, even if you're not into manga or anime. You read Monster because it's easily one of the best stories I've ever read. It is so good. God, I love Monster. It is so good. Right? And that's the thing. Monster is basically a story about chasing a serial killer, and I'm not trying to spoil it much because I genuinely want people to read this amazing piece of fiction. But it's so deep with its themes. It has so many different themes going on. It's about identity, it's about your morals, it's about trauma, it's and then the lingering question is, do you become evil, or are you born evil? And again, this is reinstating why Johann is such an incredibly written character. The story is constantly throwing these questions at you, and it leaves you to answer them. It's not trying to show you, oh, this is what is happening and this is what it means, and that's why this person is bad and this person's good. It's none of that bullshit. It's like, hey, this is how it is, and this is how you gotta interpret it. It's according to what you think is right or wrong. It's great. The setting is realistic, and that's the thing with Naoki Urasawa, right? I feel like somehow all of the things I've read are all fiction with him, right? But this is such a realistic setting. I'm not even joking. This could genuinely be a show. This could genuinely be a movie. I mean, I would think a movie would be injustice. This could genuinely be a show, straight up, and it would be incredible. Its setting, its the atmosphere, the vibe, the atmosphere and vibe of the manga is phenomenal, and the side characters are great. Okay, Grimmer is also one of the greatest side characters I have ever read. I think Grimmer is one of so impactful. You have to understand, I read this about a year ago, and I reread some chapters for making this video, just so that I have my memory refreshed. Grimmer is easily one of the best side characters I have ever read. He's so complicated, he's so good. Even someone like Grimmer, who's not even the main character, has so much depth to him. I love this manga. Could you not tell by now how much I love it? And also, I think Monster has one of the best final arcs ever. That's the thing with manga, right? And this is what I always tell in most of my reviews. The manga always loses points for me because of the way it ends, right? It almost seems like every mangaka fucks up the ending and they don't really know where to go from where, and they kind of fuck the ending up. And that honestly really hurts the overall manga, because the ending is the last thing you read about the manga, right? And which is why it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Monster has one of the most satisfying final arcs ever. It ties okay, I don't want to spoil it, but it ties everything together. The whole psychological tension, the trauma, the mystery. It's not one of those, oh my god, it's the climax. It's so satisfying. Everything ties in together. There's no more loose ends, and you're like, oh my god, it's God, it's finally my effort, my time which I've invested into this world is being paid off, and it pays off so beautifully. That whole arc of them in their hometown is one of the best things I have ever read. It's incredible. Why is it not perfect? Now, I did say earlier that, okay, I don't think Monster is like a 10. Honestly, I will say the pacing at the start is really slow. It does take a while for it to really pick up, but honestly, that is it's a pretty daunting problem, I will say. Like, it does start to bug me a little, especially at the start, but eventually it reaches a point where, like, dude, this is genuinely incredible. Like, I am witnessing one of the best stories ever told. I'm reading one of the best, you know, characters ever written. Like, it's genuinely a masterpiece. Monster deserves all the love and all the praise. And I don't care if it becomes mainstream. I don't care if a million people suddenly come to know about Monster. I want the entire world to know about Monster so they all can read it. I want it to be so famous that it's basically one of those things where, yeah, it deserves to be up there in one of the greatest mangas ever written, because it genuinely is amazing. It's a masterpiece. But yeah, it's a 9 out of 10. It's basically perfect, if I'm being honest. The rating doesn't even matter. It's one of the best stories I've ever read. And it's just go through the slow start and you'll be rewarded with one of the most intelligent and one of the most satisfying stories in manga. I love Monster. I recommend everyone to read it. It's incredible. That's all I have to say, honestly. Like, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.